Hello all out there. I'm Joe Crawford, and this is my channel on YouTube where I tend to do the daily targets for CSS Battle on CSSBattle.dev. I've got a Plus membership which allows me to go back in time and do these prior battles, including here's October 2nd. Kind of a circle with a hat, all purple and blue. We've got maybe a steering wheel or a wheel or something like that, three-spoked wheel, and then this the top part of a question mark or maybe a crook. All right, let's see. What do we need to do? What HTML do we need to do to get these shapes done? For this guy, I'm going to use my blank template. Available on GitHub and linked in the description. And I think that the hard part is the triangle. So we're going to start with the triangle. I am going to use a clip path for that, which will be a three-pointed clip path. And then in the background, what we need is a radial gradient, but that's the easy part. I usually try to do the hard part first. And so I'm setting a margin on the element so that I can set its width. Paragraph elements are by default 100% wide. And so if I set these margins intelligently, or at least semi-intelligently, I want to get that purple box to fill all the space of that triangle by setting a width on it. So it's probably 150 wide, and so that the margins for it, so that looks pretty good, right? So clip path. Clip path takes a number of different kind of parameters. We're going to be using a polygon, and we need to set 3 points. Those 3 points, I usually do them in percentages. You could do them in pixels, but there's an x-axis across and y-axis up and down. So 50% over and 0 down. 0% and 0 are the same thing. And then 100%, 100%, so that's all the way over. And then the final is 0 and 100%. And in theory, that's all I need. Now, see the diff, we're seeing there a little bit of overlay, so the margins are not quite right. And so I'm adjusting those margins in an attempt to get it right. And it looks like 23 and 42. So 23 at the top, 42 on the sides. And there's some body margin there that we're not thinking of, but it is in the background there. It's not coming into play here. We're avoiding putting margins on both. We could put margins on the body and then put a 0 margin on the paragraph, or vice versa. Margins can be applied to all objects or all elements on an HTML page. Okay, so then our background is a radial gradient, which starts at the dark blue and goes to the light blue. And that's how you get a gradient. So that's what we think of when we think of a gradient. That's the gradient. In this case, we need some units on there. So I'm going to do 50%, which gives us a kind of a shape of the first color index. So that dark blue goes out to 50% of the space. But we got an issue, is that is not a circle, right? And if I add another color stop at, say, 60%, you can kind of see that that's a problem. So we need the keyword circle. Boom. All right. So we don't need actually a color stop there. We just need 0 to say, okay, no, and beyond. So starting at 0 is this color, but this circle encompasses to 50%. So if I adjust those numbers, I should be able to get something right. So now we've got a problem. It's too far up, right? So it's not centered in the center, right? It's actually centered below. So let's do an circle at, and then it's 50% over, and then let's do a pixel measure. Okay. So let's keep playing with those numbers. We would like it to be perfectly centered. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 36, 37, 1, 0.2, 0.5, 0.6. So 36, 37.6, 7.7, not the best number, not a very reliable number. Let's do 100 pixels, and that actually does it. Let's submit this and see if we're at 100% match from CSS Battle. So that sends it to the servers and says, hey, did we match? And we did match. So I'm going to minify this, and I'm going to unit replace. Both of those are plugins that are available on GitHub, and I resubmit. And that's done. So we got 100% match, and so let's move on to the next one. All right, so the hard part here is these little lines. These lines are the problem. So we have choices. You can rotate objects using a transform or using rotate, and then give it a degree value. So if I create an element here, all I need to do is do rotate, and then do 60 rotate colon. 60 degrees, and there, that's rotated. That might be enough to do what we want to do. I would prefer, in this case, to do that hard part in a different way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two paragraph elements, and I'm going to display flex, and they need a width, and then I need better margins. Oh, so I need margins. Here we go. 50. Okay. So that's two elements. I'm going to do. What am I going to do? I am going to do. Where are we at? Okay. Oh, I want to do a gap of 10 pixels, because what I'd like to do is align these objects. The objects that are going to, I'm going to apply linear gradients to these, or a conic gradient, to get the spokes. But to do that, I'm going to, and then once I do that, I can flip the second one using another transform. All right, so let's enough talking. Let's do it. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. That seems right, and then 100. 110. Okay, and then let's change the widths of these, and we're gonna okay, 100. Let's remove that gap. We would like a symmetry to apply, and then that height, I'm gonna say 150. All right, so that's our beginning, and what I want to do is I just want to do the spokes. So if I can find a simple and straightforward way to do those spokes, I'm going to do that. All right, here we go. Oh, and then I want to do P plus P. You're not going to be able to see this transform scale x of -1. So that's a scale across the x-axis. And so, and then let's put this background. Excuse me. All right, so that's 2 paragraph tags, and we're going to fill the, so actually the first one thing I want to do is I want to do a border right. 10 pixels solid blue. Look at that. So here's, and we can't see that either. So do I want to do it that way? No, I don't want to do it that way. So that was a bad idea. I'm not doing that. All right, let's do the background. Linear gradient. And I'm going to start at a, what is it, like 45 degree. Have a transparent color, because I would like the background to show through. 20 pixels, let's say. And then blue, 0, 40 pixels. And then another transparent, and 0. All right, so that's the idea. Obviously, that's backwards. Let's try minus 45. Okay. How about 55? Nope. 45. 35. 34. 5. 6. 3. 2. 31. All right. So those are the spokes. Those are the first two spokes. They're not quite right. I'm going to adjust these numbers until they do look right. 39's not bad. And I will take that. That looks fine to me. So now we've got another line that we need to do. So we can do that with another linear gradient. I'm actually thinking that one of these colors should cover the linear gradient, the next linear gradient we're going to do. So let's do the next one. And actually, it's going to be below this linear gradient, 90 degrees. And another way to say that is from left, transparent, comma, and then the blue color. And you can see that now. So let's put a pixel value on this. I think it's 90 pixels, something like that. Maybe it's 0. 5, 6, 7, 77, 78, 79, 80. Okay. So that's kind of right. If we were making a peace sign, that would be pretty cool. As it is, we need to cover one of these. So one of these should no longer be transparent. How did this one? So that's the one. So we're just going to put yellow on that guy, I think. Now, is that going to interfere with the rest of what we've got going on? Maybe. Let's find out. All right. Now, let's do on the background. Let's do another radial gradient like we saw on the prior one. And we're going to start at blue. Oh, and we do need to say it's a circle. And let's do 14%, 50%. And then yellow, 0. So our approach is wrong because we're covering up the middle bit, aren't we? That's a problem. That's sure a problem. Can we even do the outer circle in another way? 0, 50%. Yes, I'm forgetting the nuances. I have done this one before, but clearly I've forgotten all of the little nuances that go with this particular one. All right, so what have we got that's wrong? So let's redo what we're doing here, or rethink. We've got a lot of things that are good, and we got a few things that are not really working at all. So let's do it. Let's do backwards now. We'll do what's easy. 40, 45, 46, 45, 44. There we go. So 44%. And then let's do 37, 34, 33, 32, 31. 35, 36. There we go, 36. Okay. And then let's adjust this number too. 14, 15, 16. Okay. So we can see these edges that are no good. No good at all. All right, so what do we need to do to change this? What it has me thinking is that another approach we can take. So if I make this transparent, again, then we will have a line sticking down. Okay. So maybe the line, the vertical line, is the problem. Yeah, okay. So we got that. So to me, I have one more element. So we've got, again, that's the first one, and there's the second one. And then the next thing that we need is a something that's going to give us a line here. We could do that with a border. We could do what we did before, but then use a clip path. But let's do it on the background. And in this case, I'm going to use a conic gradient. Conic gradient is colors around an axis, around a central axis. In this case, the center is going to be at 20 pixels, and then, I don't know, it's 50, 60 pixels tall. And then it's transparent, and then it's that blue again. And with color stops, let's say 75% or 260 degrees, 0. So there's our nub, and then we using background position, we move that over. 170, 180, let's say, and then we move it down using the second parameter, 100 pixels. 50. All right, getting in the zone there. How about a little further over? 190. Okay, and then a little further down. 55. Let's see if that's a match. 99.9% match, so not quite there. I think the angle on the linear gradient is a little wrong. It's a little hard to see on my monitor, so it's probably hard for you to see on video. But by adjusting this, so we're at 39.59. I think those numbers are actually good. So we're going to shift to have these be 5s, and then what I'd like to do is just adjust this angle a little bit. 32. Oh, so 32 is too much. 31 is what we had. How about 0.5? So that's worse. How about 30.5? And then let's put those 9s back in. Adjusting the decimals, and let's resubmit. We get 100%. So again, that diff is showing us the difference in the pixels. So that's 100%, and we will take that match. So by adjusting the angle of that, we align these pixels more precisely, and then make the back end of CSS Battle say, yes, you matched that, or no, you didn't match it. So mostly I'm able to get 100% match on my submissions. There are a handful that I have not been able to, and those are the most fun and most frustrating of the challenges. All right, so I'm going to resubmit after minification, and we'll be on to the next one. That's it. All right, cool. Thank you for watching along with that one. All right, so what do we got here? So this is an interesting one because we've got two parts. We've got a circle, and then we've also got this squarey bit. To me, there's no particular part of this that is the hard part. I think that I'm inclined to do this as an element and then use 2 gradients for the background. All right, so the first gradient is a radial gradient. So I'm going to start with, I'm going to remove the paragraph element. Oh, and I gotta make sure not to remove all the code. So the background is radial gradient. Gradient. And it's a circle. And the middle part is absolutely punched out, I believe, with that deep, hot pink or magenta. And then I'm going to let things show through, transparent. And then I'm going to have that pink again. All right, so what are the numbers we need here? How about 10%, 0, 20%? Too small. 30. How about 20? How about 25? 24. Okay. And then setting more color stops. How about 40%? Okay, I think that's right. And then a conic gradient, which is start around. So we'll do, and in this case, we're going to do 50% or 180 degrees of that color. And then we're going to do pink, 0, and then 75% or 270 degrees. And then lastly, the blue again. All right. So 2 gradients and we get that. So now we want our element back and we want a background of this. And then we're going to remove the margins from the body and put it on the P tag. And can we hope that it's 99 tall so it's one less character? Probably not. We're going to find out. Okay. And then our margins are 0, so 100, 100, 100, 160, 170. That seems like the right width. Okay, so now our margin's 200. So we've got another problem happening there, huh? That pushes the body down, which changes the percentage values here. So what we'd like to do is thread this needle and have no margin below this paragraph tag, which is what's pushing down. So probably we need to set a height and a width. And there it is. And then we need to move it. So what are our options for moving it? Well, we can set a margin left and a margin top. So we do margin, and then there's 4 values there. So if I push it down, 100, 200, and that moves it down a little bit there, huh? Doesn't it? Yeah, and the body also has a background on it. So let's see, do we get anything better if we put it on the body? Yes, we do. So there. So let's make the height of that. Luckily, our height I think is not too bad. So 60, maybe 70. And let's move it down a little bit more. And then that last value would be the margin at the side there. Getting close. 60, 70, 80. And then we make this guy a little taller. 7, 8. And so that is causing a problem, isn't it? So what if do I need to do a margin of 0 on this? Yes. The answer is yes to that question. So let's make it a little taller. So it's 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. And I think it's 90. And then we have our match, I believe. So I'm going to submit and see if I'm correct and that we have that match. And then we're Bob's your uncle as far as that goes. So nice nuance there, because now if I were using pixel values or I use an additional parameter to set the background position or set the background size of an explicit 400 by 300, that's more character, so I prefer not to do that. So I do have a 100% match. I'm going to go ahead and minify and replace, and thanks for watching. This was certainly a fun series of challenges to do. A lot of nuance to these guys. Very enjoyable. Once again, these are from December 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of 2023. I'm making my way through. I've done about 30% total of the daily battles, daily targets so far. Having a lot of fun doing that. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.